What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I have another U-nique game review to talk about, and that is this game right here, Wipeout 3. Now, I'm going to do something very different on this video, and I might do it with more games that are like this one. And that is, what I used to do it in the old way was that I would go in, play the game, capture footage. Once I was done playing the game and analyze the gamepad, I would go in, write a script, edit the video, put together all what I got from my capture device, and I would make a review out of the whole thing. It would take a very long process. You know, I'd work hard on getting those reviews done. But I think from here on out, when it comes to games that put very little effort into their games, especially when it comes to their gamepad, I'm going to do that the same with my videos. Put very forth a little effort into reviewing these games. Now, I will give it a score. It's not going to be like it was before. Now, let's talk about Wipeout. Now, if you don't know what Wipeout is, it used to be an American television show that ran back in 2008. It kind of feels like a spiritual successor to MXC, if anybody remembers that show, or Takeshi's Challenge. It feels like that. It kind of feels like it's reminiscent of that. I don't know if it really, took inspiration from it or not, or what, but it feels like it. Now, basically what that show was, it was a reality television competitive challenge show. It was where contestants can try to navigate an extreme obstacle course that has designed to provoke an unprecedented number of crashes, face plants, and wipeouts, with a competitor taking home $50,000 cash prize each week. Now that show, like I said before, it was started up in 2008. It ran to about 2014 with these hosts. I think it started again at like a reboot with John Cena. But I really want to talk about here is the game. Well, it kind of emulates it a little bit. It does a pretty good job on the first stage to emulate that show. I mean, it was fun. There was some fun to it. It felt like I was part of that show. And other than that, the novelty of it wore off pretty fast. They do these things called episodes. These episodes make it feel like you're part of the television show. With that, you could pick a character, you go through the courses, basically time your jumps and whatnot. If you get knocked down, they do replays and whatnot of your terrible fall, kind of like, again, emulating the show. But they all have these weird caricatures to them, which I thought was very off-putting. You go through the courses, you earn money. At the end of each course, you do this one big one, and you have a chance and you get $50,000 in fake video game money. You get gold coins, which are rings, which I find funny because they look like those Sonic rings, from those Sonic games. You get points, you get money, you can earn to buy, clothing and whatnot, which I don't know why. I guess it affects your swimming capabilities or how you jump and all that stuff, really. But other than that, I mean, depending on how you play the game, it's pretty easy. There's not much really of a challenge. I played on hard mode. It's not even, to me, it wasn't even that difficult. It's really great if you want to emulate the show. It's close, but it kind of felt off towards like the other episodes when they had things that are like a hockey theme or a food theme. I think they do this too in the actual show, but I haven't seen much of the crazy designs that the game presents to the actual show, so I don't know if that's really what they do. I haven't seen many episodes, but I am reviewing the Wii U version. And it comes with this nice little gamepad here. So does this game add any unique Wii U gamepad fun? I'm not even going to finish that sentence. It's no. There's nothing here. No gamepad functionality. None. When I say none, I mean there's nothing. There's no touch screen innovation there. There's no touch menu pads. There's just nothing here. Absolutely nothing. There's no gamepad functionalities. The only thing that you could do is play it off screen. That's pretty much it. And you can't even turn that off. Most games you can have it to where this can be like a menu to something else, and you're playing on the big screen and you press the X and it switches the gameplay from the TV to this. It doesn't do that. It plays simultaneously on the big screen TV and on this thing here. So it does it at the same time. That's why I'm doing these reviews. These so-called revolutionary features that the Wii U gamepad had brought, and so far, there's hardly anything that's done anything with the gamepad. This game here does nothing with it other than a second screen. Which to me is like, with a game like this that's not that good, why can I not just turn off the second screen? It is already hard enough to replace these things, even for back then. It was really expensive. Now, with these things being very rare and some of them are dying, it's going to be hard to replace this thing later down the line. I like to turn it off when I play a crappy game like this. but you can't do that. If you mod it, you might be able to, but you can't do it with this. Not in the actual retail mode. But who's this game really for? I think if you're a big fan of the show, you'll get a kick out of this game here. It is fun after a while, but that novelty kind of wears off. There is some entertainment here, but there's just not enough. I feel like this game should have just been a downloadable game more so than a physical game. It definitely feels like it. There's no Wii U gamepad functionality. All it really is just a mediocre licensed game, and to a TV show of all things. That's why I'm giving Wipeout 3 for the Wii U a 4.5 out of 10. Look, I know this review wasn't like my other reviews. Again, I don't want to really make reviews for crappy games that they themselves couldn't put forth of effort into making good content. These are just shovelware stuff, so I'm going to produce shovelware videos for these kinds of games. Leap, bounce, and fall. It's time to conquer these big balls. You know what? Maybe I can. I think I can. I'm going to go back to Earth and actually conquer the real Wipeout course and win that $50,000 cash prize. I think I could do it. I am determined to do it. And hopefully with that money, I can finish out my Wii U collection, finish out this series, and maybe have enough to retire. Yeah, let's do that. We're going back to Earth and we're going to conquer that course.
While he did participate in the show, unfortunately, the episode never aired. Complications on the set started to erupt, and the episode was destroyed. There were only the still images that remained. People on set said he gave it his all, even under the dire situation. There was determination in his eyes, some sources said. Plus, in between sets, people would hear him say, "F that Wii U game." No one knew what he meant. After the last fall into the water, no one has seen or even heard from him since.